Hey everybody, Alex here with yet another video announcement. By the way, I will be doing less of these the more in the semester we go. I am just making a lot of them right now because I've been getting a lot of questions and concerns on Canvas Inbox. So I wanted to take this time to sort of answer really good questions I've been getting so that way all of you have a better idea. So there are four things I'm going to talk about in this video. One, I'm going to explain what an asynchronous class is. Second, I'm going to explain the workload for the class. Third, I'm going to talk about sort of the deadlines and what kind of late work I accept or don't accept. And then fourth, I'm going to talk about extra assignments I just created. So let me move over so I look visually somewhere else. Okay, so number one. So let me explain what I mean by an asynchronous class. So this is an online class. Asynchronous just kind of means that there are no scheduled meeting days and times. Some people asked me, why are there deadlines for assignments when in asynchronous classes, sort of, you can do things on your own time? And that's a really good question. But an asynchronous class does not mean like you could just do everything last minute or wait until the week before the class and to do everything. This is still a college course, and because it is a distance education course, all of you as students are still expected to meet the general requirement of what any college class would have. Even though there are no scheduled meeting days and times, there are still deadlines for assignments because you still have to do work every week and you have to complete the workload that would be expected of an in-person class. So for those of you wondering why I have certain deadlines and why certain assignments are set up but for different weeks or everything, that's because again, asynchronous does not mean you can do everything on your own. It's just an online college class, but there's still college course expectations. Now let me move on and talk about the workload. Okay, so number two, the workload. So as some of you see the assignments listed as like 1-1 or 2-1 or 3-1. So when I made the assignments, those indications is because normally a class is 16 weeks. The way I designate the assignments are like 1-1 or 2-1 because those are presumably like what you're doing during week one or week two or week three. If you are in my accelerated class, so if you are in my 12-week class or my 8-week class or my 5-week class, I don't change those assignment titles because I copy paste content from my normal 16-week class and then I just paste it onto like the accelerated classes and then I just change the assignment deadlines and sort of the number of assignments per week relative to the course. Now, officially in a college course, this is a 3-unit college course. So in reality, this class is supposed to take about 54 hours of work in terms of 54 lecture hours. Now, in terms of this class, that's sort of illustrated or expressed by the assignments you complete, whether it's you're writing down essays or outlines, or you're making discussion videos or speech videos, or you're replying to your classmates. The workload may vary by your technological skill. But in terms of like the workload for this class, officially, because this is a 3-unit college course, by the end of the class, all of you should have completed approximately 54 hours of lecture content. That does not include homework assignments or anything, but essentially, every 3-unit class, like this class, it takes at least 54 hours. But again, because this class is online, that might vary based on your technological skill level or just academic skill level. Okay, now let me move on to sort of what I mean by the deadlines. Ooh, okay, so when I say deadlines, there are pretty much, I almost always have bi-weekly deadlines. There are always at least 2 to 4 things due each week. So discussion boards, all of you kind of have to stick to those deadlines. The reason why is because this is a college course, you have to interact with your classmates. So you cannot just not do any of the discussion boards because a college course requires peer to peer and like faculty to student interactions. So the discussion boards are really important that you meet those deadlines. But it's only the first week or it's the first couple weeks. Do not worry if you turn in work late. That's actually probably the thing I've been getting the most messages for. Late work is relatively okay. If it's something, I will have wiggle room. If it's something I have to manually grade and check, like your discussion board answers, yeah, I'll accept some variance. But for the quizzes, because my quizzes auto grade, either it's a multiple choice exam or like or the quiz has quantitative answers for it, or because if I give you a survey, a writing survey, we have to write something, all of those auto grade. Because all of my quizzes auto grade, I don't really care how late those are. Um, for those, I have like the most leeway because those grade themselves. The only thing I really care about in terms of meeting the deadlines are things I have to manually grade and things I'm going to give you feedback for. So if you have to make discussion boards or make videos or you have to write outlines, like that kind of stuff, I have to take a look at and grade. So you have to meet those deadlines because that takes time for me to grade and you have to interact with people. Okay, last thing, I'm going to talk about the extra work I just created. So, I did make extra assignments. Do not worry. They are surveys. They are qualitative writing assignments. In order to help give you a better idea of what to expect or what to do in class, the new assignments are meant to illustrate examples that I want you to like take a look at and evaluate. So, because they're surveys, they auto grade. You get full credit once you complete the surveys. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go in later on and just check that what you created was correct. So, for the new assignment, don't worry about it. Um, those can be late again because those are quizzes and they auto grade. So now let me wrap things up. So, in this last minute or so, I've been getting a lot of messages about class and confusion and worries. So in this message, I wanted to sort of answer all those questions to all of you. So the first thing, even though the class is asynchronous, that does not mean you could just do everything on your own and just like not interact. Asynchronous just means kind of that there are no scheduled meetings, days or times. You still have to do the work. You still have to participate regularly and meet deadlines and regularly interact with the class because this is still a college class. Second, the official amount of work to complete, or in terms of like effort, is supposed to take 54 hours. How much work you have to put in each week depends on how many weeks your course is and how many assignments I give you per week and what kind of work you have to do for those assignments. But for those of you wondering on the workload, it's in total 54 hours. Like divide that by how many weeks in the class, and that's kind of how many hours you have to put in each week into the work. Third, in terms of assignment deadlines, quizzes are fine. Those can be late. Quizzes auto grade, right? But things I have to grade, like discussions or outlines that you write or videos that you create, because I have to manually grade those things, and because this class requires constant participation with me and your classmates, any assignment that requires you to interact with other people has to meet those deadlines. Having said that, I do have wiggle room if the work is late a little bit by like maybe an hour or a day. That doesn't really matter to me that much. So that is it. I am sorry this is a long video. Oh my goodness, I got it under 10 minutes. I'm so proud of myself. That's it, everybody. If you have any questions or concerns or anything like that, keep messaging me and I will try to answer the questions quickly as can. And if all of you have the same question, I'll make a video again. Other than that, see ya.